Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. And a while ago I did a video on this cool little pen light. They call this the Rechargeable Foldable Dual Pen Light. It's actually a triple pen light as far as I can tell, that Snap-on makes. The number on this thing is the ECPND032 plus a color designation. You can see that there. It's actually a nice solid little light, pretty light too. This one comes in at about 3.6 ounces, which is pretty light. This Braun, on the other hand, that I'm going to show you, comes in at essentially 8 ounces. The Milwaukee, I'll also compare, comes in at over 8 ounces, 8.2 ounces. But anyway, this guy spawned a lot of comments of, why don't you take a look at the Braun, see what's the difference. I mean, they are these unique kind of folding pen lights. Well, a while ago I had looked at a Braun, but it actually had a bunch of features I didn't like. First of all, it didn't have this second joint here. There are two joints, which allows this thing to fold all the way around, and it makes it much easier to store, when in a toolbox or something. But and the earlier version kind of stuck out. It just didn't feel all that great. It didn't have a great number of lumens. It used an old USB, micro USB charging. Did have the replaceable battery, I'll show you. But I just thought, it's got to get better, and it did. And here it is. This has been out for a little while, but what this does is it takes the kind of the beefy Braun design from before, which really doesn't exude high quality. It just exudes, this is a decent tool that, will do what it's supposed to. This is all plastic here. The detent balls are plastic. I can see the individual LEDs inside there. It's much harder to see on the Snap-on. This does have a higher output. It's got 500 lumens compared to the 300 max here. The other end of this guy, it's got 3 settings basically. You've got 2 settings on this, of a high of 500, a medium or a low of 155, and then you've got this bright flashlight on the end that's, they say 65 lumens. A light like this is designed for basically close quarter combat, and it's definitely not one you need, 1,000 lumens or more, because that's just often too bright. It's designed for, plumbing applications, HVAC, the ability to work it into different aspects of maybe an engine bay, undercarriage, dashboard work, stuff like that, where you really just have a tiny spot to slide in a light, plus you need the flexibility to try to wedge it into a place, that you may not have been able to get it into under, if it was a conventional style light. Now, by putting on the double hinges there, you do have the full, essentially 360 degrees of rotation here. This also has rotation here. It's got 180 degrees here of rotation. And I have no idea what that's for. If if you've got a reason for that, let me know, because I could just as easily do that without grabbing it and twisting this, because the profile of this end is the same, so why can't I just move it around? It's going to take a while. This is a stout joint there. This does absolutely nothing. It's just glued down. It's how you take the thing apart, which you're not supposed to. But it does have a battery I'll get to in a sec that you can take out. So I don't know why that extra rotation is there, but it is. This is using USB-C charging. It's got an indicator, shows the charging from red to green. It's got a battery indicator there. You can see is green. One thing I really like about the Braun over the Snap-on is if I turn this on, so we'll turn that on, and we'll turn this on. If I find the button, that's one of the things. There we go. So they're both on. They're both firing away. But when I'm done using this, if I've been in a mode, with it on for a little bit, I can just click this and it's off. The Snap-on, on the other hand, when I click the button, it just switches to the next one and then off in that case, because it started here and then I had to switch it to here. So I have to cycle through this nonstop. I don't like that. And there's the Snap-on's battery indicator, a little light green on green. So a lot of times, and I've even done it in videos, I'm using this for something, you know, and then I click it and click it again, and, you know, it's still on. It's not going to go off until I've cycled all the way through, which is kind of a pain. This one, if you used it a bit, see, like that, the next step is off, of course, but if I start here, then it'll click off when I'm ready. I haven't counted the number of seconds, but it looks like it's like maybe 3 to 5. What else? The battery comes out on this one, so it is changeable. This does use a, whoops, it's easy to turn. That sticks way up, so it's very easy to turn that light on. But you can see here, I've got a 18650 that's removable, so I can upgrade that when it starts wearing out. I did notice, I put some of this silicone or super lube silicone grease on the threads. They were pretty crunchy, but that O-ring is really cheesy right there. It's already cracking. This is, whoops, that's how easy it is to turn that on. Anyway, so people are right. This is a good light, good enough. A lot of these, they're darn close to expendables. You use them hard, they perform great, but they also hit the ground a lot. People have left them, you know, stuck inside compartments, you know, and driven away. So when you spend a bunch, the Snap-ons like $70 to $80, which is, you know, a Snap-on price for a Chinese-made little teeny weeny one. It's got a pocket clip, which they're trying to go after that Penlight. This one they don't even bought. Whoops, turned it on again. That's one of the problems. But anyway, as far as the light, having this much capability and reach, all kinds of different directions. I saw these on Amazon for 44 bucks. Apparently you can get them at other places. Snap-ons, of course, off the truck. And then this Milwaukee I really like, except for that position of the pocket clip. They don't make these anymore, but it was a good solid light for a lot of things. So, is it worth it? Whoops, turned it on again accidentally. Yeah, I think it is. If you want something like this, in this form factor, don't mind the weight, then the Braun is a good one. There is an Icon one, I guess, that's a little bit more expensive, a little bit higher output. I don't think you need that much higher output, but it doesn't have a replaceable battery. Its build quality is, I've heard, better, but that's not why I would get one of these. I would get one of these to always have something constant. In fact, I'd rather have 2 of these than one Snap-on because of just the, oops, turned it on again, the ability to do the things that this can do. Maybe that's what that's for, is to get in the way so you don't turn it on. Maybe that's what they put it in there for, because I would prevent it. That's why. That's what I'll use it for right there. Just discovered it. But anyway, if you've used one of these or you have another suggestion similar, apparently it is a knockoff to another company's. You know, it's not a knockoff of the Snap-on exactly. It's a knockoff of something else. But for this kind of light, if you don't have one of these, pretty soon it becomes your go-to. And with that, Doc out.